Yo, hello everybody. How you doing? I am inspired. I knew I'd get a laugh out of Jerid. Haven't worn this shirt in a while. I figured it was time to bring it out. This is great content for an audio show. But I am inspired this week. I got my goals set for 2025. We're going to talk about those. I'm all geared up. I'm ready for this new year to start, man. How are you?
So I was wondering why this guy had his camera angled up to from his nose up. And I didn't say anything, but it's a great shirt, man.
Yeah, it's the shirt with Jerid's face all over it going, oh.
Yeah. It's good times.
I was looking for an O sound, but I couldn't find it.
No. 1,000 times no.
You suck.
Okay. All right, Mom. My mom gave me this little no button here. It's literally a no button, and she's like, "That'll be good if you can put it in the show." So, all right, love you, Mom.
We love you, Mom.
Yes, we do. All right, man. So, what the heck? You're listening to the Triple T podcast.
Oh, yeah, by the way.
Yeah. with Jerid from Echo Blades and Denis Tyrell from Tyrell Knifeworks.
Having some fun early.
Yeah.
So, how was Christmas? We haven't had a podcast since Christmas. How was it?
Christmas was super low key. It was like super chill. I had my mother, my son, and my daughter, and my oldest daughter was out and about doing some stuff out of town. So it was pretty low key. It was nice. It was really nice to just not have to worry about running around. So Lynn and I are. I broke the gift rule.
Oh, I knew you would.
No, I did now, and I normally, because I just historically, guys, if we've done this a few times, we're saying we're not going to get anything, and my dumbass believed, and I end up opening stuff, and I'm like, oh, dude, I'm such an asshole. So I wasn't gonna have that happen this year. So I got her a couple things and from the kids, and nothing big, but we are going on a trip here pretty soon, so we're just keeping it cool. But it was good. It was nice. It was simple. It was quiet, and it was enjoyable. So
nice. Yeah,
how was yours?
Ours was pretty well. We had a bunch of people over Christmas Eve, and we had a house full Christmas Eve, and then Christmas Day we had Kayla, my daughter, and the 5-year-old, my grandson, to open gifts, and then we go out for breakfast. They went home, and Kim and I just did nothing. Relaxed on the couch, ate leftovers. We didn't even have like the big Christmas dinner because it was just two of us. So we just had leftovers from Christmas Eve, and yeah, it was great.
I think I had mac and cheese on Christmas, like Kraft mac and cheese.
Yeah, we had like Big ziti from the night before. So same kind of thing.
Yeah, it was not. I was a tamale-less Mexican. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I was a Mexican tamale-less.
Tamales are awesome.
I know. I normally try to make that happen every year, but yeah, I was a tamale-less Mexican this year. But it was okay. All was good. Super low key. Christmas falling on a Wednesday, maybe in my hazy past, I never really quite paid attention to it, but man, it really has messed me up, these holidays following on a Wednesday, for those of us that work. Dennis, because it's like you go a couple days and then you got this day off. Like I think it was Sunday, Friday, Saturday or something. I don't know. I couldn't tell what day it was anymore. Like on Christmas night, I was like feeling like I could stay up and go, and I'm like, oh shit, I gotta work in the morning, So it's been weird with like a couple days on, one day off, couple days on, one day off.
It messed a lot of people up. Kim was like working from home, but still she had to work, and I'm like, this feels like a holiday to me because like after I had the katanas done, I'm like, I'm gonna relax for another week, and which of course I didn't, but still got in the shop every day. But it was definitely lower key than normal.
Yeah, it's been weird, but it's always a good time. And unless it falls, like on a Friday or Thursday or something like that, I'll take some time off. But generally, I work during these couple weeks because it's really good time to get stuff done, and it's chill, no traffic. It's like it's not a bad time to work.
I always liked working the Christmas holidays exactly for that reason, because being in management, it's very low key. There's not much to do. So you might as well work those days and just take it easy instead of taking them off. But
from a guy that gets hundreds of emails a day to getting 10, it's great. It's fantastic. So, but yeah.
Cool. Well, what did you get for Christmas?
I got nothing.
You got nothing? Come on.
I swear.
Your kids, you're like nobody?
Nobody. Oh, no, that's not true. My mom gave me a coaster. Yeah, I got a couple things.
Yeah.
Small, meaningful kind of gifts, but
nothing for the shop.
No, it was, like I said, it was super chill. We just got Jerid and my daughter, my mom, a couple things, and that was it. It was not it just wasn't about that this year. Besides, my son gets shit all year long. So I was trying to tell him, like, once in a while, you gotta like understand, like, it doesn't like surplus on Christmas because it's Christmas. You've been getting Christmas all year, buddy.
I saw a funny meme, something about I'm gonna wrap up the electric bill, the water bill, and the fucking mortgage, and give it to my kid for Christmas and say that's your gift.
Yeah, that's the one I was talking about one last week where the kid was pulling the milk out of the fridge and the dad came by and wrapped it up, put a bow on the thermostat. It was good.
Yeah. I got.
What'd you get?
I got these new headphones from Parker.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I got some new welding gloves from Logan.
Oh, that's where those came from.
Yeah. A needle nose plier set that'll come in really handy.
Nice.
Yeah. So, and of course, I bought myself the usual things that my wife yells at me, like, "Why are you buying that right before Christmas?" Why? Because when I thought of it, I bought it, or else I wouldn't have got it. So,
what is that?
Oh, a bunch of shit. Like,
okay. Nothing special. Just things around Christmas time that qualify as Christmas.
Right. Like I bought myself some jeans and bullshit like that. But
cool.
But I am still got some money in the company that I wanted to get rid of. He's already given me the finger. So been thinking about, like I usually make a tool purchase at the end of the year. Don't really need anything. I already got the disc grinder. So I'm like, man, what am I going to get? And then Jerid thinks it's all his idea, but actually was considering this, even though we talked about it on the weekend.
No.
Okay.
Was a new anvil. So I am purchasing a 260-pound double horn anvil from our pals at Hall and Anvil.
Very cool.
So looking forward to putting that thing to use. Have nice crispy edges and a super flat top and beautiful horn on the anvil. Waiting for the invoice to come through. It better come through tomorrow because I need that to get out of the account this year. But so that'll be hopefully in the shop before Mr. Coy Baker comes, and maybe we'll use that.
Yeah.
I imagine it'll come before then.
Yeah, that's a great idea you had there, bud. The reason I say that, guys, is because there's a long history of Jerid bringing things up and then Denis randomly doing them, but whether he acknowledges it or not. But since I just started, I got the induction forge going, and I was using my Weaver anvil. Somebody actually put a comment on my post about that, and it goes some more along the lines is like, how could you afford that fancy tool, but you're using a Beaver anvil. And I was like, I don't know how to take it. It wasn't like, I was like, I don't know. I guess it is what it is. But I guess this was a while ago. Anyways, I was like hours away from pulling the trigger on a Holland anvil, and Denis had got the Vivor one, and he was like, "Hey man, this is pretty good. It's pretty decent deal for an anvil for that price, and for a beginner, it was a good deal. It's not a bad
And
deal.
I still think it is a great for $250. You cannot go wrong.
And I agree, but I'm a bougie ass bitch, so I used it, and then, but honestly, there was a couple things that I really didn't like about. So I was just talking with him last week, like, I think I want to get a nicer one, but we just started talking, and then today he's like, "Well, I did a thing, Jerid. I did a thing," and I'm like, "What'd you do?" It's like, I got a hole in it. But I'm like, "Oh my god!" But hopefully this all works out for the best, though.
I was tempted because I kind of wanted a London pattern, and I was seriously tempted to get the 390-pound anvil that they have for $3,000.
Yeah.
The only reason I didn't, it's about a grand more expensive, but that wasn't, and he was going to throw in shipping on that one. That wasn't the factor. The factor was that it just gets, when you get in the 400-pound range, like, that's not something you move around by yourself.
Yeah.
And that was kind of a factor. Like, that now it's like, I need a fucking, what are those
dollies?
Not a
trailer,
not a
jack.
Yes.
Hand truck.
Yes. I forget, the pump up jacks, whatever, the pump up things you move around, whatever those things are called. What I moved the surface grinder with, those things.
Yeah. Hand truck.
Yeah. That's not what I've heard them called. But anyway, yeah. So, yeah, new anvil. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's cool. And because I was in between the, I was doing the same thing you were doing. Like, there's this one that's probably just a little too small, and I'll be wanting to replace it just because, and you already had one that was, bigger than that. And then they make a big jump over to the other ones. But then I was like struggling with that. Do I want to put that in right now? So I'm glad you did it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going from a 170-pound anvil, so I'm not going to go lower. And to go up to a 190, like, do I want to spend
15? Makes sense.
Yeah, like, I'm going to go to like something bigger, like a 260. So,
yeah.
Makes
sense.
But I've been really, really inspired in the last week. Been watching a lot more bladesmithing YouTube, which I've kind of got away from, just being busy, and thought I need to, get out there, see what other people are doing, support my friends. But it really is making me crave content creation more, and thinking I got to do more build videos. Got to get those build videos out. And then I'm watching the analytics on YouTube, and things are dropping a bit, and I need to just rev that up. And it was one of my goals last year that I don't think I really completed on. So it's one of the new goals for 2025. And then just starting a bunch of new Damascus patterns has got me excited as well. So got 2 on the go.
I'm with you, dude. I'm on fire. I've been watching a lot of that. You might have heard of him, but he's a kind of not that known maker out of Hawaii, Neil Kawamura. Yeah. But I'm watching the shit out of his build videos. There's not a bunch of them, but I don't know. Just the I'm learning a lot I think I'm learning in a manner that which I wasn't able to fully comprehend before. You could see things, right, but without any experience in trying to do it. And guys, look, I'm in perspective here. This is like I've just had a couple of times out there, but I've been thinking about this and more irritated by it, like, for the fact that I didn't understand how to do it you know, I've had to work at it and understand and take a lot of instruction. But I'm with you, man. The creative bug is back, and it's a good feeling, because you get stagnant with you know, the same old thing, and it's very easy to push it aside for other stuff, you know, and I don't want to do that. So I'm with you. I'm fired up.
Yeah. And I released the dual katana build.
How's that doing?
It's doing pretty good. I mean,
Good.
not stellar, but it's still early. And just releasing that video, also like answering comments, and like, you know, you get that feedback from releasing a video that people seem to like, and it's doing pretty well. So, you know, there's that boost as well. And then you start, you know, people start watching your other videos because they're recommended and stuff. So that helped a lot as well. And just editing that video, and, you know, just, it kind of brought me back into the swing of things. So
That's good.
I needed that.
Yeah, I think that's good. I think the listeners and everybody else are happy to hear that as well, because as you've been, from my side anyways, looking at it, I know that you've been busy, even, you know, the classes, and, you know, and trying new things that take time, but you're definitely the old school Tyrell Knifeworks crazy builds and stuff have been less over the past year, but so it's good to hear. It's good news.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm recording 3 different build videos right now, so
Nice.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get a bunch in the can and releasing these more. I'm contemplating, not decided yet, but I'm contemplating actually slowing down the triple T's, like maybe only doing the triple T every 2 weeks to focus more on the build videos. So I'll see how those go, because I'm in that. Sometimes I get crazy ideas and I have them racked up for 6 weeks. Right now I'm in that lull of like, oh, what's my video going to be this week? What's my video going to be this week kind of mode, which I don't like. But
yeah, because then you end up putting out shit, you know, just exactly. Filler shit, and that's, yeah, I could see that would be troublesome.
Yeah, it just doesn't feel good. And
yeah,
and I may have a sponsor for an upcoming video as well, so that will be interesting, which I've never done before. But I mean, aside from the triple T videos, I mean a sponsor for a build video.
Oh, gotcha.
So we'll see. It's not a done deal or anything yet.
Nice.
But
so I got a question. So you're talking, you're all juiced up, you know, getting inspired again, and it. What I also wanted to say was, I think there's something to be said with being so wrapped up in what you're doing and not participating in the community. I've been having, I think this year for me, again, newer guy here, but I think this year overall total, I kind of withdrew from social media, and I mean, other than this podcast, right? But you know, I think there's something to be said with just that community participation in that community, like you were saying, like participating, watching, cheering people on, commenting, and doing all that stuff. But while you're feeling all of this creative inspiration for the new year and all that good stuff, I've had this question on here for a couple weeks now, but I didn't feel like it was ever a good opportunity to talk about it. But do you ever lack confidence when you're going through these new ventures? Like, you're going to try a new build, or you're thinking about starting stuff, like, because on the outside looking in, you've been pretty successful at most things that you've tried, right? But I'm curious, like, is there ever a moment where you're just like actually afraid to do something, or have you not done something because you felt like you couldn't do it?
There's you know, I think like everybody, you get that imposter syndrome. I get that all the time.
Yeah,
like
I live it. Yeah.
Like I'm you know, my stuff's not that good, and I'm not, like, you know, all that shit goes through your head. And then confidence in, like, I think about, you know, going for master, and I'll look at some other knives and I'm like, like I'm fucking nowhere near that level. Like it's that kind of, I mean, you saw me going for JS, like master's going to be so much worse. And, and that's part of my goals that I'm going to talk about. And that's my video this week. My Triple T video is going to be on goals. And I honestly, when I was back in like high tech, I used to dread this time of year because like the fucking managers and like my VP or whatever would be like, okay, set your goals. And it was always like bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, but now I feel like I'm excited to set goals. I'm excited to look back on what I did. But, there's always that lack of confidence in some things. Stainless Damascus has still kicked my ass. And I want to get back to that one. And that's, that was one that, kicked my ass a bit.
Yeah.
But I think everybody has a kind of a confidence issue at times.
I hope so, because I'd be all on a fucking no confidence planet or island all by myself, because it happens to me a lot. There's things that I've done, and there's like a couple of things that Jeff and I have made, but I do. It has to be confidence or fear. I never put any content on about them out of like fear for like somebody asking me a question that maybe I couldn't answer, or like something of that regards, like, because I'm new at everything, right? There's all the times like countless times you and I will be doing something. You're like, hey, dum dum, like, did you do this? I'm like, oh yeah, that makes so much sense. But so yeah, I was just curious if you're an android or if you do have human emotions. And
Yes, I definitely do.
That's good.
If I don't show it, that's because I'm good at video editing and you don't see it. The build I'm working on right now is another one that this puzzle piece build, but I'll get to that in a bit. But I mean, what I'll tell you something that I wouldn't say it's a lack of confidence. Maybe it's more about an insecurity, is looking at knives and thinking compared to, I'll say my peers, people like Jasses and others. I look at my knives and I'm like, it looks too plain. There's not enough bling. There's not enough like special techniques. There's not enough
bedazzle. That's for Kim.
Yeah. Bedazzle in it.
Yeah.
And that's one of my main goals this year, is to work on the bedazzle, work on the thing that someone goes, oh, that part's really cool. Or how did he do that? Or, and I was thinking to myself, we Toby's favorite question, which was like that traits of a master or whatever. I was thinking I was going back to that. And my answer to that originally was, what is an important trait of a master smith? And at the time I said it was attention to detail. I actually think it's effort, just plain and simple effort. Because there's a skill thing there, but they just, like, if I look at, I'll use Kyle Royer. He spends so many hours on the tiniest detail. It's effort. Like Veronique, when she does a knife and she does little flower inlays, like, it's effort, like the little tiny things that take hours and hours and hours. And the average person looks at and goes, oh yeah, that little detail's cool. That little detail took like a ton of effort. And it's what kind of, maybe it just pushed it over the edge. Maybe is what makes it really cool.
Right.
Same with cast knives and all these guys, like just the tiny things, but collectively all those tiny things and the effort that those take.
Yeah.
So that's one of my goals, is the bling, the bedazzling for knives.
Nice.
Yeah.
No, and I think you're. I think what I'm trying to say, it's like some people can see that, like the potential in that small amount of effort, not small amount, but that extra effort, and actually make it work and not come off as like, like
Yeah.
try hardish and just like, oh yeah,
Yeah,
I
and
can't come up with a good example right
I
now,
know
but
exactly what you
there's a
mean.
way to make it like completely tasteless and
Gaudy.
not, gaudy and like,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, because I'll look at, and I don't want this to all sound all pretentious. Like, there are guys that love to do the like production knives. Like, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about me doing like super high level, low volume knives for me. But I'm not taking away with anybody doing production work or anything like that. But then if I see the ones that like engraving is one thing that I think can go overboard. For me personally, like if I see too much engraving on a knife, like it's just too blingy for me. And there's a few things that are just too blingy. So I know what you mean, but
Yeah,
it's subjective. Everybody looks at a knife
100%.
differently,
Yeah,
right?
100%.
Yeah.
No, and I was kind of looking at the katanas. Those like when I was watching the build the other day. I was telling Denis that I have a different. I don't know. My watching your things is different for me because I'm oftentimes a part of you going through the journey, right?
Yeah.
I get to see a lot of stuff, but then there's shit that I don't get to see, and like when you were doing the fit up and the guard, the Suzukis and the Septicus and the Hibachis and all those things. I wasn't around for any of that, so I was really like intrigued. But then you put it like a couple of the I guess the last name was started with a Z, and then you kind of threw some etching and some things on there that I thought were really cool. Like I was like, how the fuck did you come up with that? Like you put something in the wrap that was
There was a Z with like two little kind of swords coming
it
out
was
of it.
fucking cool, dude. It came off good. I liked it. Again, I don't like telling you did a good job, but that was cool. I was like, and that kind of leads me to kind of where I'm at now is that after forging the knife and realizing that I have like 5 or 6 forged things, 3 of them which are hidden tang. I think after we got together this weekend, I think guard fit up bolsters, hidden tangs are like the new kind of forging thing for me right now. It fucking irritates me. I don't know what I'm doing. You asked me a very simple question, like, what do you want to do with this? And I just went to, I want to say something, but it's probably not the right thing. I went to a place of just, complete blankness. Like, I'm like, I don't know. Like, I just want to put a fucking handle on this thing. Like, I want to stick this tang inside a block of wood and I want to, and I want to shape the handle and move on. But, so that's, I think that is the goal for me. The irritating goal that I have to do now because I don't get it.
Well,
I think that's
you need to bring a couple of those knives over and let's spend a day and do a bolster and a handle for them.
Yep, that's what we got to do.
And that'll, I mean, you're not going to be doing a guard, right? But at least a bolster.
And yeah. I mean, because it's simple. Like there's people that I know that I think it's challenging for different things are challenging for every individual, right? And I think it's one of those things that I've just kind of overlooked because I've always done full tang and I get that. But yeah, it was a very humbling. That's kind of the word I was looking for when I left the other day. I think that's when I had that imaginary conversation with you, bitching you about something. I was irritated. I know it was driven from somewhere, but I was like, I didn't know how to answer it. Like, like where do I cut these shoulders in, or did I cut the shoulders in? You're like, do you want some ricassos showing? I'm like, no, I think ricassos are stupid. And then I started looking at all the knives that I like, and I'm like, they all have a good amount of, and I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, fuck, I don't know.
And you were dealing, like, I asked you, which I don't do wah handles. I personally don't like wah handles. I don't like the look of them, but that's me. Some people love them.
Yeah.
I have if you love them, you hate them, whatever. But they are different. They require different setups than a Western. Actually, it's the other way around. A Western handle requires a different setup. And I'm talking a hidden tang, not an integral bolster or a full tang, but it needs a different setup. It needs shoulders. It needs. So I'm asking Jerid this, and he's like, I don't know. And I'm like, and so that's part of the decision thing. Like, so I need to like sit down and like draw, or we need to draw a couple Picasso tang variations and see this is, if you do this is what's going to happen, like that kind of thing. You should sit down and just draw those and understand, like with dimensions, or what that's going to look like.
100%. There's no. I think that's what has to happen, because apparently it's not just going to go together. That's what I found out. Thanks, Dennis. You ruined my dream.
And I did this the hard way. I didn't have someone to ask. I did my first Bowie knife and centered the tang centered the tang, I centered the tang in a Bowie knife. And then when I did my first chef knife, I centered the tang, but the tang is much closer to the spine on a kitchen knife. So then I fucked it up. Like I went through this whole, okay, what's different between these two knives, and where do you put the tang and where do you put the cut? Like I had to learn it the hard way. So you have someone to ask at least, but yeah, you'll get there.
Yeah.
And it's a fun journey.
I have no desire to struggle. So good for you. No.
and I'm, it's not fully announced yet, but I will be doing a course at a Hammer In, a presentation on, and I think what I'm going to pick, and it may be Kumai, but in addition to that will be guard and handle fit ups, and how to do the best guard and handle fit ups, and do that whole thing. And I'll have to have like pre-done steps, and it'll I want to do a good job on that, so it'll take me a few weeks to get that down. So I would love someone to practice on.
Yeah, I'm your Huckleberry.
But hey, I thought it'd be a good time. Let's recap. First, I want to recap 2024, because I actually had to go back and watch my goals video for last year on what I wanted to get done. And actually, it was pretty. I didn't get totally there, but I wanted to do some education, which I did. Did the folder course, was successful at that. I wanted to learn a few new Damascus patterns. This year I did the plug welding. I did a few techniques this year. Mm-hmm. I wanted to do a lot of collaborations. That one I kind of failed on. The only one I would call kind of a collaboration is reaching out to Trey on the Hamon thing, and I learned a lot. I was very happy with that. I wouldn't really call it a collaboration, but yeah. What else I added in for the shop? Added a lathe, an induction forge, and a disc grinder. So lots added to the shop. On the business side, released the Sand Shark, which I did talk about at the beginning of the year. I retired. That's part of the business. And you reminded me that we started this podcast this year. So lots has happened in 2024. It was a huge year. So a lot happened. I could have made this 2 years, just looking at what's here.
Easily.
Yeah. What about you? What are you happy about that happened in 2024?
So I have a, after looking at that, I realized that I haven't really even jumped into any kind of retrospective thought process about this year. Like I have been, I guess, professionally and the day job, and personally, I guess I'm really focused to stay in the moment. It's an important part of my process in life, because I have a bad habit of dwelling in the past, which makes me and more negative than anything, because I will find things I should have done or regret and shame, because I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Everybody has regrets. Everybody has things they would do different, right? If I live in that, though, obviously I'm not a people that I'm dealing with in the present, that those relationships struggle. So I try to stay out of the past. And then if I start going too far in the future, I end up doing what's called future tripping. And I start stressing and give myself anxiety over shit that hasn't even happened, is not going to happen, or may not, So I try to stay in the moment. I try to live just right now. And sometimes when it's overwhelming and you have a high stress, situation, that takes up all of my effort, and it's the healthiest place for me to be. So as we approach the end of this year, through Christmas and all that stuff, I realized, though, and I appreciate the reminder, because I think that there's a bullshit part about, like, reservations, New Year's, like all that stuff. But I think there's a very healthy resolution. Sorry, yeah, reservations are what I have for using drugs. But yeah, resolutions. There's a very healthy process of like what you're doing, and I think some adults do that, and this adult didn't do that yet. So I appreciate the reminder, and I'm going to give that an honest look back, because my knife making goals, production wise, like doing more, fell short. I think there's a lot of misspent time that could have been applied more towards this craft or whatever. And then, but professionally, like on my job, though, there was a lot of growth and stuff like that. But that's all boring shit that I don't.
But
care
I think one affected the other. It's not like
100%. And I don't want to be that guy that says like that, because there's plenty of people that have day jobs and time consuming commitments, but they still have the fortitude to move forward and put the time in, right? I see examples of that. Those are my inspirations. Those are the guys that I look for, that still hustle after a lot of things. I don't know, apples to apples, how much time commitment is what, right? But so this year, if I have any goal, a very simple one is pretty standard and cliche, but I'm really need to balance out this part of my life with the other part, to prioritize this stuff that makes me happy, that makes me feel productive, and in a manner that I don't get from other things, so I wanted to do a God damn it, what are those things called? A little show on the weekend.
like a farmer's market thing.
Yeah, farmer's market type thing. I really wanted to do that. That didn't happen. You can't do those if you don't have any inventory. So that's the thing. And then to top it all off, guys, I'll get a little honest with you here. So I got a message from a buddy of mine who put an order in for a knife a while back. And I think somewhere down in the past on our show, we were talking about like lead times. Like, what are you out on? 3 to 6 months? Are you, what is your lead time on orders and everything? So that's kind of where I was at. Like, all right, about 3 to 6 months sounds like a reasonable amount. This fucking guy, he's a good buddy of mine. He sends me this meme, and I'm going to post this. So I got permission today. I got permission to say I got permission to think. But it starts off with that that song. It's been 1 week since you looked at me, right? And he goes and does this whole thing. It was well done, well executed, and it was fucking hilarious. But it's like, it's been 1 year since I ordered a knife. And then he like goes into this whole, like, puts all this montage of things, and like, I just want my, and he has a picture of his face, and he goes, my knife. He does it for like 20 seconds, dude. It is hilarious. So I call him up, and I'm like, first off, that's hilarious, and I love it. And second of all, my bad. I didn't realize it had been an entire year. And then and it's the guy where I figured it out was I made him a Gomai, and that's the one that I made, but I didn't take your advice and I fucking thinned this thing out to billet out. And as I started, going through getting scale off, surface grind, so now I have like this fillet hunter ish
Okay.
bendy tip.
But you still have it.
I still have it. I'm gonna finish it. But I kept telling myself, "Oh, I'm gonna redo the billet. I'm gonna redo the billet." And then like time goes by like really fast. So my bad. That was humbling. And I don't want to do that again this year. So
Well, you just did a go my billet on Saturday, so
I know, I know, I know. And I told him that, but we're gonna. So I had a good talk with him, but it was hilarious, and that was, yeah, that was something. So
I'm looking forward to seeing it.
It's great. It's funny. I should have showed you today but it took me a minute to get the nuts to even talk about it or want to share it because it's pretty embarrassing. But so yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, and that's one of the things I'm doing this year. One of my goals, I wouldn't say anti-goals for 2025, very few custom orders. Like I have a list of custom orders that honestly, I'm just not going to do. Like I told people, hey, when your name comes up, I'll reach out and take a deposit. Sorry, unless it's in line for what I want to do, you're probably not going to get a custom order, especially a guy that's asked for a katana. Like that's not fucking happening. I'm sick of making those. There's a Kumai buoy on that list. Might get to that one, but we'll see. Like I want to build what inspires me. I want to, that my of anything, my goal for 2025 is build what inspires me. And I said early on, like beginning of the year, I had set myself up because I knew I was going to retire to have a bunch of custom orders because I was worried about income. Well, okay, I'm comfortable now. I know how things are going to go. I can see how I can make what I want and I can survive that way and be happier. So that's
yeah.
a big one.
And if you got to shift, you got to shift. And
right, then I will pick up
one
of those custom orders. But
right.
It's nice to have those as a backup. The other one is, like I already talked about, more build content for YouTube. The complexity, go the extra mile on the builds. An example, so one of the builds I'm working on right now is the buoy that I've forged out of W2 at Maker Camp.
Mm-hmm.
And looks great. I'm really happy with the blade. And then I thought to myself, like, what am I going to do to this knife so that it's not just a boring knife with a handle? Like, it's not that I think I just wanted, I
think we get it.
Yeah, you get it, right?
Yeah, we get it.
So I decided, okay, I'm going to try something different. I'm going to make a really big guard/bolster, and it's probably 1.25 inches tall. So it's kind of part of the handle. You've seen those, right?
Uh-huh.
And I made that as a little puzzle piece, and then the handle puzzle pieces into the guard, kind of like a keyhole, but it's not a keyhole because it's not pressed in there because it's a hidden tang, right? The tang has to slide in. So it's got to be removable. It's the most amazing blue burl.
It's beautiful.
It's literally one of the most amazing pieces of wood that I've found. I think it's a box elder, but dyed blue, and it's got these yellow looks amazing. And then I'm going to do the the guard/bolster. I'm going to blue it with hot bluing salts. So I think that combination is going to look incredible. The puzzle piece effect. Now I'm happy. Like now I have my bling for this knife. And a good example of what I want to do. So be happy to get that one on. And I just got those 2 knives that I had made a while ago that were Damascus over nickel. Couldn't really remember what Damascus was. Finally heat treated those today. Got to see the pattern. Really excited about it. So I'll be doing something more blingy with those as well. So.
And when I saw that puzzle piece thing, I looked at it and I go, keyhole practice? And yep.
Kind of, yeah. It is kind of keyhole practice, even though I don't think much of the skill is transferable because I'm not pressing the knife into the block. But yeah, it's mentally it's preparing for that.
Yeah, I could tell what you were doing. Your baby steps.
Yes, baby steps. But yeah. Oh, and I got to tell the story. So so this is many hours have gone into this. So I've already puzzle pieced the guard onto the handle, which took many hours of like sanding and filing, and it took a long time. But I haven't slotted the guard yet. Okay, and it's an inch and it was complicated, a lot of milling. It probably took me at least a couple hours on the mill to slot this thing. And without going into a ton of detail, but basically I'm slotting it with an 1/8 inch end mill. And then I measure the knife and I'm like, okay, what's the thickness of the knife? Minus 1/8 divided by 2, which was 7/1000ths of an inch. So I have to mill off 7/1000ths of an inch on either side of that slot. Well, dumbass is, if you're, flying by instruments, something pilots do where you're not actually looking at what you're doing, you're flying by your instruments. Well, I do that a lot on the mill. If you do that and you don't actually look at your piece once in a while, you can make some major mistakes. So instead of taking 7/1000ths off, I took 70/1000ths off. So I now have a slot that is a 1/16 of an inch too big on either side after doing probably 8 hours of work between the guard and the handle. So I'm going to take a little piece of silver and do some file work on that and have that as a little plate that sits on top of the handle, and it'll be a fancy little accoutrement. Hopefully no one will look at it and go, oh yeah, he fucked up the slot in the guard. They'll think, yeah, I see, that was purposeful.
Well, yeah, the 6 people that listen to this will know, but
Right.
Other than that, yeah. No, that was one of those things too that I was talking about with the guard. You were like, do you see it? And I was not looking at that. And then you were like, and I'm looking, I'm like, that's a giant like gap there. But I figured you were doing something like and you're like, no, 70, not 7.
Yeah, there was some screaming going on. One of those, like, my wife comes in and asks if everything's okay because I'm swearing.
That's funny.
But at that point, I mean, yeah, I could throw it away, but I'm gonna do the proverbial, make lemons out of or make lemonade out of lemons kind of thing.
Yeah. I think that's that master or that master smith trait is, it's the really skilled guys just know how to fix their fuck ups better than the rest of us. Right.
Yeah, or hide them.
Or hide. Same thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see. I think it's going to turn out, and I think it'll be kind of cool.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, we've been at it for 48 minutes and 38 seconds now. I had to wait. And we haven't done an ad read, so I think maybe we should talk about our good friend Lawrence Lake over at Maritime Knife Supply. Right now, and I think when this releases tomorrow, there will still be some opportunity to take advantage of the Boxing Day sale that he's got going on right now. You can get 10 to 15% off of steel and handle material. I myself put a big order in from him last week, and I thought it was really cool. Lawrence is a good buddy. We chat all the time, but he shared made a reel about his wife and his son, and they were like wrapped up in orders, and and like it really filled me with I was very happy for him that he gets as much support from our community as he gives back so much. I thought that was a really cool thing, and it excuse me, had me sorry, I'm choking up, Lawrence. You got me all emotional here with your super cool post.
That was a good reel, though. I got a good laugh out of that one too.
Yeah. But yeah, so with that being said, there's time to take advantage of that. So go ahead and do so. Tell them the boys at Triple T sent you, and take advantage of all those things. And you can also get pretty much every other sponsor's stuff there. You can the Vaquero Two Bastards Fat Peen is available. You can get to Baker Forge and Steel there. Pelican paste. So make sure you go do that.
Yeah. I placed an order yesterday for some nickel and something else that I need. I don't remember what it was. So yeah, go get it.
Yeah, I got all kinds of shit. It's a 2-box shipment.
Ooh,
Yeah, it's a good day.
that's a good
So
one.
maybe I did buy myself something for Christmas. I got a bunch of 1/4-inch stock of all kinds of different shit. So all fired up. But while I was at it, I used the shit out of my fat peen this past week. I beat that peen like relentlessly, dude. It was a great time. But yeah, if you're looking for a hammer, make sure you go check out Frank and Nito over at Two Bastards, Smithy and Supply, and get yourself a fat peen, crossed, straight, diagonal, squirrely, bendy. He's got all the peens that you need. So go do that. It's a great hammer.
I used mine today, hammering out that silver for my screw up. So
There you go.
yeah,
That's right. Because ain't it grand to have a fat peen in your hand?
indeed.
Indeed.
Hey, let's since
Oh,
we're
speaking of like beating peens, the other day I was over at
are you gonna
Denis's
tell this
house,
story?
and you bet your ass I am. If you got kids in the room, get them out of here. So I went over and we were in the forge on Saturday and making a couple things, and we were having a little bit of lunch, and Ken came in and was apparently you guys were going out to celebrate a birthday, and you were going to go like line dancing or do something like that. But she had a little sparkly outfit and was kind of just giving us the thing, and I could see where Denis was going. It was kind of cute, but he's just like, geez, honey, I'm gonna have to beat off the men. And I said, what? What did you just say?
You know what I meant.
Oh my god. Yeah, it was great. It was good stuff. I loved it.
You see the kind of grief I go through being Jerid's friend?
Yeah, this week on Is He Gay or Canadian? Denis defends his wife honor by beating off men.
No, that's not going to be the title of this episode.
Yeah, it was really good. I think it should, but yeah, nevertheless. That was pure gold. Thank you, buddy. Thank you for being you. I do appreciate that.
Right. I do make fun of you a fair amount, so
yeah, that's a good one. I would hope that you would share something like that.
I definitely would. Oh man.
All right.
So
okay.
What else? Oh, Triple T video this week was just a little bit more on that folder. Just showing off that folder. We talked about it last week that I changed it. I was pretty happy with the reaction. Everybody loved it. So, it sold at the first hour of posting that video. So sold my very first folder. Was happy with that one. So yeah, fourth folder, which is not too bad, I think, for getting them out the door.
No, it was good. It came out great.
Yeah, so I'm sure me making some of those in the coming year, but probably not for a few months.
Yeah.
What else? Oh, Kim's going away for 4 days. She's leaving New Year's Day, so yeah, she'll be gone until Saturday night. They're going down at her and her girls are going down to LA for they're gonna go to Universal and all that bullshit that I don't want to do. So yeah, I'll be me and the dog for 4 days, so that'll be nice. It'll be
Cool.
the same as ever, but that means I'll probably do some evening work and
Yeah, maybe I'll join you.
yeah,
I'm only here for one more week, so it's
I'll be around.
yeah, that's good timing.
Yeah, maybe we'll do an evening forging session or an afternoon
Sounds good.
forging session.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah.
So New Year's Day or
Yeah, she's leaving New Year's Day.
gotcha. All right.
Yeah, they're driving down early New Year's Day, and then, but
Okay.
yeah. I got one other thing. I got some blocks from Mr. Ryan Coakley, which I just got today, and very happy with those. I may use some of them in an upcoming build. So if you're looking for some stabilized wood, go hit up Ryan.
Yeah, do it. I've done it every drop I've got in on.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah, very good stuff. I was happy with it. You want to do Maker Spotlight? And then maybe we're out of here.
Sure.
Who do you got this week?
I have our buddy Brent at Crossed Peen Forge. That's Cross Peened, CROSSPEINED Forge on Instagram. We've got to hang out with him maybe it was just once. No, he was at Blade
West
Atlanta this year too.
Oh yeah, we did.
Yeah, that was I was like, I've hung out with him. But at Blade West, we got to hang out with him. Cool dude. Does really good work. And when you talk to Brent, he's kind of like reserved in personality wise. He's not like a loud and extroverted, but this fucking guy makes some hilarious reels, like really fun stuff. So it's a great follow. If you're not following Brent, make sure you go do that now. He's currently has 1,720 followers, and he's out of South Central California, another California dude. I think he's like San Luis Obispo, like kind of down there.
Yeah.
Like it's a thing. Next time I go down south, I told him I'd try to figure out how to swing by there. But yeah, good follow, good builds, and some funny stuff. So go check him out.
Cool. I have got, and I actually had to look. I thought we might have done this one already, and I usually do a search, and we haven't. So I have Halcyon Forge, HALCYON Forge, no underscore. Halcyon Forge, and that's Joseph Schrum, and he's in Hillsboro, Mississippi. Mostly does, from the look of it, from his post, mostly does culinary knives, but some really cool Damascus patterns. I really like this. I never know what to call. I know there's a name for this one. The third in his, I forget what it's called, but it came out cool. I like it. I think he's doing he did a giveaway or something on that. He's got some feathers, some ball bearings, some cool patterns in his knives. So yeah, and he's got 25.5K followers. So really been out there promoting his stuff. So if you don't already follow him, go check him out.
I was not following him. I was sleeping on this, and yeah, that's like really good stuff.
Yeah,
a lot of Ricasso. That's all I'm noticing.
Jerid's on a Ricasso fetish right now.
Yeah. So I'm on a learning fetish here. So yeah, really good stuff. Really cool. And yeah, that's a good one, Dennis. Thank you. I was not following this guy. I have 216 other people that agree with you, mutual followers. So I don't know where I've been, but
yeah. So go check him out.
Yeah, I agree.
All right.
Yeah, but you know what? Like looking at all that fancy Damascus and stuff looks good, and it was really good to get in the forge this weekend. And you were making some stuff, and I just did a did a Gomai billet, but it'd been a while actually since I've done it, and I know you've since the katanas. I guess you've been at it pretty regularly, but if that's not your thing and you don't want to do that, then I would suggest that you go check out Baker Forge and Tool, and check out Coy and the Boys, because they have the some of the best pattern welded steel out there, and lots of stock and inventory ready for you. You can take advantage of the Baker Forge and Tool app, and that gives you 1 day early access to all of the drops for the latest things that are coming out. They also have Gator Piss, which is the elite etchant, pre-made etchant, to finish up your Damascus, and that is also available for the Canadians at Maritime Knife Supply too. So go ahead and check those guys out, and you can use the discount code TTT10. That's TTT10 for 10% off your next purchase.
And cool little aside on that, I have a Discord chat for my Patreon members, and once in a while I'll see someone post. In fact, just today, the reason I thought about it just today, one of the guys posted a knife they just finished with Baker Forge steel and looks incredible.
Yeah.
So some cool stuff.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
Yeah. And if you're going to finish off that steel or that handle, best thing to use is put some pelican paste on there, hard wax, soft wax, pelican oil, hand salve, soap. Got to smell nice for the wife, and you don't want those rough, scaly hands. So go get yourself some hand salve and some soap. Check out our buddy Travis at Pelican Paste. Use the discount code TTT10 there as well. So get some.
That's right.
Yeah, I might actually need to place an order of that. I think I'm getting kind of low. So, I do have, I was a little apprehensive. I got an order for, and it was funny because it was the exact same knife. Remember the Mexico fiasco of the guy that disputed the charge?
Oh, yeah.
Which it's still gone through. My dispute of the dispute is still in effect, so I'm still winning. But I got an order from someone in Italy for the same, because I made 3 identical knives in that batch. So I got an order from Italy for the same knife. I'm like, oh, fuck, here we go again. So I sent the guy an email and said, hey, make sure you're aware you're going to pay customs fees. And if you want to try to dispute this, you better let me know first and give me a read. Da-da-da-da-da. Still haven't gotten any response back from that email, and I shipped it today. So I may be in for another dispute. We'll see.
Wait a minute. You did it again?
But he's already paid for the knife. So it's not like I can't not ship it just because he hasn't answered the email. He paid for it. So I have to ship it. Right? It's like damned if you do, damned if you don't, right?
Yeah.
Like, unless I refund him and say, okay, I'm at the risk of like any international order, I'm not going to ship anything. That seems silly. So,
I guess that knife.
it's like a $300 knife, so it's not like.
I was trying not to say that, but yes. I was going to say, for that knife, I guess.
Yeah. If it was a whatever $10,000 katana, that'd be different.
I'd fucking refund him in a minute and say, hey, I need to know you're real, because I'm getting burned, and there's nothing wrong with that.
I would not be shipping it if it was something high dollar value. But it just gets the hair in the back of your neck up when you see something like that, and it just happened to be the same knife, so that was another issue. But I'll let you guys know how it goes.
Yeah, I am interested in that.
Yeah. But yeah, all right, man.
Yeah, this is it. One more week, and then you guys are going to be Jerid-less for this Triple T, guys.
I know. It's going to be so fun. I am setting up the most fun anti-Jerid episode ever.
I can't wait. You're going to need 2 of them.
I know. I will have 2.
This is so good.
I'm
I'm excited.
I'm going to be auditioning guest hosts. I already got them for the first one.
Auditioning. That's a short list there, buddy. You're going to be begging.
I know.
It's more like it.
I'll pick somebody. Don't worry.
Yeah, that's good. All right, man. Well, yeah, good one. Thanks. Appreciate it.
And for everyone out there, have a good New Year's Eve. Be safe. Don't do anything stupid. And if you do, don't get caught. All right.
I agree. Yeah. Happy New Year. Let's roll. Sayonara 24. Sayonara 24.
No.
You suck.
You really waited the whole goddamn episode for that?
Yep.
The entirety just to fuck my spiel up. I was even going to add some flair. See you later, 24. That's a wrap.
Bye.